What's going on, gamers? I'm Coach Solomon, coming at you with another GGO Minecraft workout. In today's video, I'm going to be taking us down a more combat-oriented lesson by showing how to better fight and survive enemies and mobs using an offensive approach. Learning these techniques at the prep stage of our Minecraft survival roadmap will better lend you the skills and knowledge to initiate that scary encounter with a mob, or fight that beefed up player in a PvP world. By the end of today's workout, you will get to experience differing and varied ways to play offensively in PvP and PvE. Those acronyms standing for player versus player and player versus enemy. So, without further ado, let's boot up our game, wield our mouse and keyboards, and jump right in. Alright, let's get ourselves warmed up and better prepared for today's lesson. I want us to get into a creative world today, so this can be a pre-existing one or a new world if you're choosing. And just make sure it's creative and your cheats are enabled. This will be so we can properly spawn mobs, weapons, and more to properly showcase the ways and methods of combat. Once you're spawned in, let's take this time to equip our materials. For today's lesson, you'll need a diamond sword, a diamond axe, a shield, a trident, a bow, 64 arrows, 64 zombie spawn eggs, 64 skeleton spawn eggs, and finally 64 steak. All of these items will be very important coming up, but to close out this warm-up, let's yet again find ourselves a nice open plot of land to use for our drills today. Focus on finding one where there's cliffs or ridges that block off mobility so you're more locked in with the mobs and can't run away endlessly to survive. This is a showcase on how you're entering battles, not running away from them. Once your items are ready to go and you found a nice plot of land in your vicinity, then we can slide over to the first drill. To start off this drill, let's turn it to nighttime and spawn some of our creepy crawly mobs down. I'm putting down one of each now, but we'll progressively place more along this exercise. Next, let's equip our shield. The shield is a main tool for modern Minecraft combat. While I will be tackling the shield more in the defensive combat exercise coming out later on, for now it's important to wield it while fighting offensively for your overall safety. I'm going to be displaying two ways of offensive approaching in present vanilla Minecraft combat. The first is sprint jabbing, and the second is critical chaining. Both of these methods require important sprint resets and spacing in order for your weapon to meet your enemy. You must be at least 3 blocks away, so keeping this 2.5 to 3 block distance while your enemy gets pushed around is crucial to this exercise. Another note is to try out some toggle sprints. Instead of the simple double tap of W the forward key, putting sprint as its own key in the key bindings page may help you better get into sprint hits and non-sprint hits. You can tweak this as you like, but it is preferred for optimal play. The sprint jab, or sprint hitting, is a method of offensive play where you sprint towards the enemy, jump up, and perform a sprint critical hit. After that first hit, you immediately attack again with less damage. Although that hit didn't hurt your enemy as much, what you've ended up doing was getting yourself into a combo, where you quickly follow that jab up with a flurry of hits, while consistently sprint resetting. This sprint reset to hit chain will lock your enemy in a combo that consistently pushes them back and up in the air so they can't perform proper plays back at you. Like I said prior to this combo, takes a lot of practice with resetting your sprint and spacing between your opponent, but let's take those next 5 minutes or so to do just that. Spawn your zombies and skeletons and begin sprint jabbing them, doing the same motion you see me doing here. Just try practicing the hit timing first, then start digging into the sprint resets. Next, after some trials, you should start to see your flurry begin to improve. Moving side to side is a key factor into your player's spacing and sprinting too. After some time getting used to this method, then we'll move over to the second offensive play. The second main offensive approach I want to show off today is crit chaining. This is when you sprint hit to player but not letting go of the W key to reset it. Instead, you'll hold W down and strafe and jump while hitting as you come down, ensuring it's a critical hit. This slew of crits will ensure that mass damage is taking place, and the sprints will leave your opponent with no way to push you back. This combo chain is even harder to manage spacing and hit timing, but with patience, trial and error, and a general slow pickup of the speed, you should have this one down in no time. Let's spend the next few minutes trying this combo out, focusing on the initial hit and how we can better follow it up with more critical hits in a punishing succession. You might be asking by now, Coach Solomon, what about all these other weapons you made me get from earlier? Well, it's a great final topic to include here. Playing offensively means countering a defensive player who might be trying to avoid or evade your attacks. They can do this by shielding, running, or false sprint hits. The axe is the main tool you'll need for breaking someone's shield if they're blocking you. This gives you time to perform a combo or flurry of sweeps. That Undersea Triton of yours also has a new hit reach of 4 blocks while in melee, so it can help punish a player who might be faking a dash attack at you. And finally, the bow is a great tool to begin long-range snipes from any running enemy or player when they think just avoiding you entirely was a good idea. Let's end this final drill by exploring all 3 other weapons on our mob foes. Spend this time as well to utilize this combo approach in there before or after using those other weapons too. This is a great mind game with your opponents, so they never know what you'll throw out next and can't just rely on typical spamming. After a few minutes of this, then we'll put our knowledge to the test and switch over to the guided practice. For this scrim, we'll be splitting our branch on 2 pathways. After our thorough time grinding out different Minecraft survival techniques, a break period in your Minecraft play should feel warranted whilst still getting fundamental knowledge on Minecraft mechanics. If you'd wish to join into a Minecraft multiplayer server like mc.hypixel.net or topk.pika.host and put your PvP skills to the test in some Sky Wars, Bed Wars, or general PvP styled games, then feel free to join me here as I log in. While you may not be encountering these heavily armored active players in your single player Minecraft world, of course, you may however decide to play with friends in your own Minecraft LAN game or server. So this fighting practice will come in handy when dealing with that pesky griefer or a friend who just won't stop trying to fight you in game. For the ones sticking to their survival world on their own, let's begin by surviving a full day in Minecraft, practicing these combat mechanics wherever we can with the enemies. Another thing we can focus on is by working to obtain these other weapons and items I showed earlier, like going to deep seas to find a Triton, finding string for a bow, or smelting iron for a shield. If any of them was of significant use to you earlier, try to get it in your world once and for all. Once the sun shines bright upon your single player world, or if you won or lost a couple of games of Bed Wars, then we'll wrap up and reflect on today's accomplishments. Really great job today, gamers. Whether you successfully survived another day in your world, or you got some epic games in online play, let's take this moment to think about what we learned today. Was I fighting more offensively or defensively? Was I matching my hits to the opponents and enemies? What can I do differently to better time my sprints and resets? What other combat forms are there? All of these questions and more will be highlighted very soon, so stay tuned. Thank you so much for checking out today's Minecraft GGO workout. Hopefully you can continue to hone these PvP skills to the test with me as we delve deeper into our survival roadmap. I've been Coach Solomon, and I hope to see you all next time.